Hello and welcome to Destiny Digits. This is the life path reading for life path number 5. So your life path number is found using your date of birth, and it reveals an energy that you are carrying in order to walk out a purpose in this life. And so as a 5, freedom is what you carry. You carry this energy of freedom, of expansion, of adventure, of vision. Okay, you're just very curious. You always want to expand and extend and learn and go and grow. Okay, so that's the energy that you carry in order to walk out your life path, your purpose in life. And so this card, we're going to talk about 5 spots to kind of determine where we are. This is like a temperature check, a temp check to see where we are on our path to purpose. So first card we have is courage. So where are we? Courage. This is the space you're standing in. It says, let me be open to courageously take the steps that are shown. And so expansion sometimes is taking a step before the path is truly clear, or before the destination is truly clear, right? It's taking one step at a time without knowing what step appears after the next, And so doing that requires courage to take those steps and to be open to the steps that present, right? So it's not only about taking the step, but what if the step is something that you didn't prepare for? What if it's something that you didn't fathom? Right? And so that's when courage is required. Even when things are presented to us that may seem or feel foreign, if we truly want to expand, sometimes it requires us to go and grow in places that are unknown. And look, beneath courage is the moon card, and the moon is literally like things hidden, things unseen. Visibility in the daytime is easy, but think about visibility in the night. You can only see at a certain distance. And so it requires courage to walk in spaces that are unknown, where things are not yet revealed to us. Beneath the moon, it says, I choose to learn through love. And so there's something that this says to me that you understand that this entire existence is really displays of love. Sometimes it may come through a challenge, sometimes it can feel more like a support, but this is really all about you experiencing love or not in order to experience it later, right? And so you're learning, but you have to carry the energy of being adaptable, right? And going with change. And 5s, you're very good. Nothing about you is rigid, right? Change is easy. You don't mind energetically jumping into different places and spaces, but this is about doing it from a foundation of love, realizing that is our guide, that is the curriculum in which we follow our life. So space number 2 talks about the current task that you're in. It says, outrageous openness. Dear love, open me to your wills, release me from my attachments, surprise and delight me with your plan. You know it's needed, and I am open to receive. And so expansion is being open, and I talked about being able to take a step, even if the step that it appears is totally out of anything that we imagined, right? When that step appears, we just know it's out of love, it's out of our best interest, it's for our growth. And so this is saying that no matter what happens, I am not attached to any specific thing. I want to be surprised. I want to be amazed at what is for me, right? So there's no outcome I'm wanting. I'm just wanting to see how this thing unfolds, because I know that everything that comes my way is for my highest good. And so beneath outrageous openness is 3 of Pentacles. And so that's your current task. Right now, in the space that you're in, you are asked to be open, to just say, hey, I'm open, I'm willing, bring it. Whatever it is, bring it. That's that space. And so the 3 of Pentacles talks about literally working with something, cooperating, collaborating, working towards something. That could be through learning, through planning, but this just talks about realizing that this is a work in progress, and the best way is to cooperate. I feel like the Three of Pentacles is the energy that you need to carry. That's the task that you're being asked to. So this outrageous openness looks like collaboration with life, with what comes your way, right? 3 is a number of joy and fun loving. I think that love is a true theme in this reading, fives. As I sat with it, I'm like, but we'll get more. We'll get into that more. But threes are about being expressive and creative, and there is no vulnerability with a 3, because a 3 is they just show, right? And so this is about you being authentic, but realizing that you have to engage in this new space, and it's not from any form of attachment. Beneath the 3 of Pentacles, it says, when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. And so, like I said, love is prominent here. I choose to learn through love. I see the world through love. And so I feel, fives, that this is about you being in love with self and being in love with life, really falling into just this energy of bliss is what you're walking into. It is so beautiful, and it's light. I don't know if I mentioned this, but like right before I started to record, it's like I kind of just felt fluttered, just like a warm sensation in the center of my chest. Nothing like uncomfortable, but just like a rush of energy. Warmth. Something noticeable, but nothing that makes you uneasy. All right, so difficulties. So what is the challenge here? What is the challenge for you? We have limitless. See yourself open to receive in the most miraculous ways. The divine can use anything and anyone. And so this is realizing, listen, everything is fair game, right? This entire world is really working in our favor individually, because we all have our own path to walk on. But everything that we need is literally existing with us right now. And so how is it going to come to me? Is it a person? Is it a place? Is it a thing? Is it an opportunity? Is it a thought? Is it like, what is it? And it doesn't matter what it is, because you're realizing that there are no limits. It can be anything at any moment. And beneath limitless is Ace of Cups, which is literally new love. Your heart being like overflowing. Right? So we have love again. And so listen, fives, there could be a significant someone. Like there totally could be. Right? But you're not attached to that, because remember we talked about not being attached to an outcome. It can be a someone, but guess what? It can be a thing. It can be anything. It doesn't matter. But whatever it is an expression of love, something being extended to you from the divine, from the universe, because that's the energy that you were living in, and naturally things just come to you in that same form. Beneath the Ace of Cups, it says, when I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. And so this is finally making peace in the unknown, because you realize that the universe is working in your favor. And so when you started out in that space of courage with the moon card, like really taking moves and making risks in unknown spaces, and always being willing to realizing that you have to work with this life energy in order to get where we're going. It's the fact that you were willing to do that you just reach this place of peace. And then that's where you accept the limitlessness of how things arrive to you. It can be any person, anything. And so when you make peace with the unknown, when you are excited about the discovery, love really arrives. You're just in love with the process, because it's all working in your favor. But guess what? That came up in the space of difficulty. So that you can understand that logically, but it can be difficult to maintain that that truth, that mindset, that idea when we're trying to be courageous and do things in new spaces and new energies. You know what I mean? But that's what expansion is. It's stepping out in places you've never been before. So you're always not going to know something. And as a 5 who carries the energy of freedom and who has this vision of adventure, you're always going to be experiencing the unknown. So that's something that you have to be comfortable with, but it's something that you have to fall in love with, because you know in the unknown, love awaits. In any form, it's all love, right? So that could be difficult, but that's something that you have to step into. So what's your strength here? Expansiveness. Literally you. You are your strength. It says eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. And so we talked about everything being fair game, limitless, saying there's never a ceiling. Like it's all a possibility. And so expansion is saying that our ego, it has a ceiling. It can only go so far. It can only predict or protect or imagine, or our ego, it's not it, right? And so when we're talking about freedom and growth, when we're talking about, being adaptable, our ego doesn't help us because it's restricted. Right? And so in order for you to expand, it's about releasing ourselves, detaching from outcomes, beliefs, ideas, right? This is about being new again. Beneath expansiveness, we have the Page of Pentacles. And so expansiveness is your strength, not being attached and really allowing your ego to fade away so that you can be surprised what life does for you, through you, and to you. That's exciting. The Page of Pentacles, that's the energy you should be in. And so the page is like being a student, right? Not paying attention to anything else. Like you're so focused on this pentacle because you want to learn, you want to see where it takes you, you want to discover, right? And so, but the page talks about a youthfulness. So it's not yet in a space of mastery. You haven't yet gotten to mastery. And so you may have to make a plan. You may have to take your time and go steady. There could be something that you have to learn, but nonetheless, you realize that this moment is a message of hope. Good things are to come. This is a sign of success. It's just in its early forms. Beneath the Page of Pentacles, it says, in any moment I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. And so listen, again, we have love, 5s, goodness, and Ace of Cups is in the center of the spread. And so this is saying that, the pentacle, the thing that you're carrying in your hand, is going to lead you to this growth, to this new place that you want to go to. So we don't know where we're going. We don't know where it's going to take us, but we're willing to go, right? And in order to always be willing and ready, we have to pack light. We have to be willing to stop and go at any moment. So we have to just surrender to what's taking place. And what does surrender look like? It can look like prayer. Now there's a card that came out, I put them to the side, and it said the key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. And so that is like one of my triggers with prayer, is when people, I'm just going to say it, whatever. When people attempt to pray for you and they're praying for everything that they think that they want you, they're really praying for their own interests as you are concerned. You know what I mean? It's not like, I'm using this prayer because I want to see the presence of divine will. You know what I mean? Let the divine take over. I pray for divine will. But no, most times that's not how prayer happens, right? It's like we pray for the exact thing what we want. It says you have to say it, you have to whatever, we have to whatever. And yes, that's true. But the universe is not restricted. It doesn't have to fit in the box that we tell it to fit into. And so there are things that we can want and desire, but we can't be so attached to them that when it's time to talk to the divine, that we're only talking from our limits. Right? And so expansiveness is the energy that you literally carry as a 5. And so this is about realizing that there are no limits, and so we shouldn't even limit ourselves. We should always be willing to learn, always be willing to grow, to be surprised, right? And so what does that look like? How can we tap in? How can we through prayer, we can reconnect to the fact that we want to be surprised. When we take a moment to just contemplate, like, where am I? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? Like when we just really kind of ground ourselves into the moment, that's realizing that we are living a life of love, right? All of this is working in our favor no matter what. And then there's stillness, meditation, just sitting, just hearing, just engaging, you know? It's all of those moments that allow you to take in and expand what is really happening around you and for you. And that is a strength that can help you now. So last card talks about our goal. What's the goal? Freedom. Are you surprised, fives? It says, I no longer want this fiery ring of resentment to block the good. Release me from its bonds. And so in this card, you know, it's like you've got this bird in your hand and you want to release it. And I feel like the bird is you, but it's also everything that you know is out there for you. But it can only be seen if you just go, if you have the courage to fly. But if something is holding us back, it typically is connected to our heart. Our heart is kind of like the navigation system for life. And the condition of the heart matters because it determines what can come or not come to us, right? And so this is saying that we're trying to free something, but our hands are bound by rubber bands and we can't let this bird go. And this bird is us, but it's also everything that is for us, right? And so popping these rubber bands signifies blocks being removed, right? Those blocks were stopping us. They kept us bound from flying high, from soaring, from expanding, right? They were limits. They stopped us from being open, right? We weren't courageous. We couldn't go because we had so many blocks. And beneath freedom, we have the King of Cups. And so let me just say this. Every tarot card is either a cup or a pentacle. And a pentacle, you know, we can just say it's about work, prosperity, success, just finance, money, fine, right? And every card is either money or cups, emotion, the heart. And money and the heart, they work in tandem. They're teammates. The heart is navigating you where to go to get the money, but if your heart is restricted and blocked, your navigation system is always offline, right? And so when we pop these rubber bands, when we can finally release this bird, those are the resentments. Anything that knocked our navigation system offline was obstructing us. So when we free ourselves from that, we release ourselves into what this life really has for us. And that is the goal. And beneath freedom is the King of Cups, an open heart, somebody who's emotionally mature and stable. And they use their emotions as a gift. You know, they realize that their emotions are a resource, right? When they're curious about love. How can I fall in love with life? How can love come to me? How can I put love into this life? How can love come back to me? And so it's just your willingness to learn, to go, and to surrender is what moves you to this place of emotional maturity. And I will also say that this King of Cups can represent a person entering your life, right? That we had Ace of Cups, realizing that people, places, and things, literally anything, can reveal to us how in love life is with us. And when I say life, I mean like the divine ancestors, guides, like how in love they are with you. And so it really always wants to give you what's best for you, right? And is that a King of Cups when you finally are free, when we've released all blocks? Like, is this a person or is this an energy that you step into? Beneath the King of Cups, it says, in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and an energy of love. And so when we begin with the courage card and the moon, where we talked about where you are right now, this is having the courage to step out in the unknown because you know that the unknown has everything I need. So I have to step into it, right? And that's emotional maturity. That's the King of Cups. That's somebody whose heart isn't blocked. That's somebody who's open to receive. At the bottom of our first deck, we have ease. It says it's easy for me to receive. It's easy for me to receive. It's easy for me to receive. This this is what this is about. You are stepping into this place where things just come to you because your heart is free, you're open, you are living in your purest energy. The energy that you are carrying is the energy that you are literally vibrating in you, and success is all that's possible. At the bottom of the tarot deck, we had the Six of Wands. Right next to this King of Wands is where the deck is, and Six of Wands literally is success and victory. Fives people consider you to be magnetic and witty, so don't be surprised. I mean, you're not surprised that you typically will have an audience, but you are here. This is your sweet spot, right? 6 is a number of balance and harmony. It's when things are going and flowing and everything is in motion as it should be. It's just this stable trance, this stable communication style between life and love and passion, and things just flow. And these are those moments where it feels like a victory is upon you because things are just going as they should. It just feels like success is, right? It doesn't look like anything, but it feels like something. And so, the third deck, the bottom card said, "There's nothing sexier than my authentic truth." And so fives, like, you're unafraid to be you, and it takes a level of risk to expand, right? Because it doesn't always appear to be safe. But when you know that in the unknown, the things that are for you are waiting, you just can't see them yet, you have to go. Like, in order to receive, that's exactly where you have to go. And so fives, that's what you're unafraid to do. One other extra card I had, it says, "I witness the darkness and call on the light with my prayer. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love." So listen, fives, in order to I just feel like you had to fall in love with life again. You had to fall in love with self. You had to learn to trust, to have faith, right? And I feel like prayer is significant. A good amount of the universe has my back deck. I think that's the deck. I have to be better about putting the decks and being clear about that. I will put them in these description boxes. But prayer in love, prayer in love, prayer in love. This card has love, love, prayer, peace, love, love. Listen, fives, love is here. It's happening to you, through you, and it's around you. Anything that you want is coming with ease because you finally accepted that any attachment was truly limiting you. And so you're a student in your own life. And the course you're taking is a course of love. And in those moments when we're in the unknown, that's where we surrender to prayer. Not for what we want, but what for wants us. But what for, I'm going to let that go. Fives, thank you so much for stopping by. Take care. Bye-bye.